To be honest, transportation in China is just the best. Like, is the best if you are using the bus. So I know a friend who did her operation in China, and then she went to tell the school that, oh, she did this operation. They refunded her the money that she used for the operation. Why do you always want to go to the manufacturer's place to actually get what you need to get? You can get them online.
I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my head. I'm sick of wishing I could just forgive and forget. I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my mind, my mind, my mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. If this is the first time that you're joining, welcome to the family. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about the cost of living in China as a CSC student. I feel like it's very important for you to know the amounts you're going to be spending, so that you know if it's worth it to go for the scholarship or not. Okay, but to be honest, I think it's going to be worth it by the end of this video. So let's get right to it. So the first thing is the accommodation. For the accommodation, it's actually going to vary, right? For those people that are trying to live in the dormitory and those people that are going to be living outside the dormitory, and also for the city that you're going to be staying in. So every city have their own expense. I remember when I was in Beijing, and in Beijing, if you're living in dormitory as a CSC student, it's free. You're not really paying. But then when you decide to move outside and you've decided to like live on your own, as a CSC student, they'll only just give you like part of your money. I think they'll give you like 1,000 RMB or 1,500 RMB, just to add to whatever that you're going to be paying outside. And in Beijing, apartment outside is really not cheap. It's expensive, trust me. The thing that was even very funny when I was looking for apartment outside Beijing was that I couldn't really get the kind of apartment I wanted. Though yes, when you're living in dormitory, you have to share. Yes, you have to share your room. But if you're going to be living outside, you can actually decide to stay on your own. But what I realized in Beijing was that some of the rooms, it's like you have to share toilets. It was so difficult to find a room that will have its own toilet. I don't know why. And even if you find that room that has its own toilet, the price is out of this world. Like, the price would be so expensive. I'm talking about 2,500, 3,000, 3,500. It would be really a lot. It would be a lot. So if you ask me, if you are trying to look for a very comfortable space, I would advise you to live outside, okay? Because then you have your privacy, then you can be able to like walk, though it's not allowed to walk, but at least the pressure will not be that much. And also there's the safety part. Yes, Beijing is very safe, China is very safe, but I don't know, there's that thing when you're living inside the dormitory, there's a top-notch safety. Like, you just feel like nothing can ever happen to you as an international. Remember, you're an international, especially if you're black. You don't want to just expose yourself to anywhere, okay? But then if you're not living outside, it's safe. Oh, it's safe, very safe. China is very safe, but it's still a part of you that will always be reminded that you're an international, because most times you're going to be around Chinese people, but when you're living in dormitory, you're living with internationals, right? So that's depending on you. You can live inside or you can live outside. There are still some schools whereby if you're going to be living inside the dormitory, you can actually decide to pay for the remaining space. And that leads me to food. To be honest, food in China is very okay. Not cheap, but at least it is very okay depending on your country. Cooking at home would definitely be cheaper than when you're always buying food outside. You're always buying food. So I advise you, if you're looking for how to save up money, just plan to cook at home instead of buying like takeouts. You can just buy the foodstuffs online. Just buy foodstuffs online. Don't buy foodstuffs from supermarket, because it's going to be way expensive than buying online. I remember when I came newly and I wanted to start buying foodstuffs, I was always going to the supermarket because I did not really know how to operate the whole online system like that. You know, I'm still new, I'm still learning a lot. And to be honest, if I knew, I would have started buying stuffs online. It's still the same. Even the people who sells stuffs in the supermarkets, they are buying online, because basically when you are buying online, you are buying directly from the producers. But then when you are buying from supermarkets, it's going to be way expensive than when you buy online. And when you're buying online, you're going to get it in large quantities. The only disadvantage of buying online is that you don't get to see the product before you buy it, right? Sometimes you can order something, may show you something in the picture, then when you order it and it gets to you, you're like, what is this? You're like, what is this? That's just the only disadvantages when it comes to buying food. I always advise people to buy online. Trust me, you may be new and you're trying to move to China, you're like, oh, you don't understand the system, how it works. But I'll just advise you, try to learn how to order stuff fast. Even sometimes I remember like people, they'll reach out to me, oh my, can you help me buy something? I would love you to go to the manufacturers yourself, help me to buy this, help me to buy that. And I'll just be like, you guys don't know China. Literally, in China, everything happens online. When I tell you that I can buy anything I want to buy for you online, best believe that I can. Why do you always want to go to the manufacturer's place to actually get what you need to get? You can get them online. If you can always ask them, please, can you show me a video? And even when you buy and you say no, you don't want, you want to return, you can always return. The reason is because you are buying through the online platform. So when you're using the app to buy whatever you want to buy and you put in the app that you need to return, definitely whoever sold that product to you would definitely send you back your thing, or would definitely ask you, okay, bring it back, you know. But the only thing I fear is if you are buying stuffs outside the app, then you can easily be scammed. So when it comes to buying food, just buy stuffs online, cook your food. If you are living in dormitory, there's always going to be like the canteen whereby you can always buy food, and the food there is very, very cheap. The only challenge is that a lot of internationals, they don't know how to eat Chinese food, they don't really like Chinese food. That's the only challenge. But to be honest, right now I'm already used to Chinese food. I can eat Chinese food, but when I came newly, I couldn't eat Chinese food, but now I can eat it. Okay, the next expense you have to think about is the transportation. To be honest, transportation in China is just the best. Like, is the best. If you are using the bus, so you're going to pay 1 RMB, 1 yuan. In Beijing, 2 yuan. So you can convert it to your currency and see how much that is. Personally, for me, I know that the transportation was just because of the government. They want to make things really, really affordable for the people. So the bus transportation is very, very good. But if you want to use Didi, that's when I'll be like, okay, Didi is very, very expensive. Didi is so expensive. So Didi is like the Uber here in China. Okay, so when you are using the Didi, it is fast, yes, compared to using the bus. When you're using the bus here, I feel like they're going to be dropping you from one place, they'll stop at each bus station, so it can be slow, you know. And then sometimes when you're trying to wait for the bus, it will take time. That's just the thing. But you can always use the bus, you can use the train. There are some places that they don't really have train, you know, but Beijing, I know they have the train, the bus, and the transportation is very, very good and very, very affordable. Another thing that you probably be spending money on is utilities. Talking of the electricity, the water bill, talking about the internet. Personally, for me, I feel like the internet bill is not so expensive. Water bill, I don't really know that much, because then I lived in dormitory in Beijing, and while I was living in the dormitory, everything was kind of not so expensive. I couldn't even understand the expense because they paid for the water, they paid for the lights, paid for accommodation, and I was receiving my monthly allowance every month. So I didn't really know how much I was supposed to pay. The only thing is that when you're living in dormitory, if you finish the electricity that is already for that month and you're looking for electricity again, you have to pay for that one. But if you're living outside, you have to pay for the electricity, water bill, and then internet. And I would say it's not that much, to be honest. It's not so expensive, to be honest. If you manage everything well, if you manage your electricity, water well, I don't think it's that expensive. But you know, everybody have different hands, right? But for me, comparing China to Nigeria, I would say that it's really, I would say it's not too expensive. In Nigeria, things are really expensive in Nigeria. Rent, water bill, all these things. These are so expensive. I don't even know why Nigeria is very expensive. But to be honest, Nigeria is very expensive. So let's talk about the healthcare. As a CSC student, you're entitled to having free healthcare, okay? So anytime you go to the hospital, you can always tell your school that, oh, you spent so amount, and they can always refund you that amount. So healthcare here is very cool. As a CSC scholarship student, it covers it. Your scholarship covers it, because most times if you won't even be going to the hospital, and you might not even want to go to the hospital, right? Yeah, that's all I know. I know a friend who did her operation in China, and then she went to tell the school that, oh, she did this operation, and to be honest, they gave her the money. They paid her back. They refunded her the money that she used for the operation. So healthcare is also very affordable. When it comes to other expenses, talking about the textbook, academic expenses, and every other expenses, I think that you have to be the one to take care of that, okay, based on your monthly stipends that you receive. And also every other expenses, talking about like going out, touring, and all those things that you're going to be doing, you're going to be taking care of that expense yourself. So what I'll do is to give like a brief rough estimate of the money that you're going to be spending as a CSC student, so that you can be able to know. It actually varies with city and university, so depending on the place you are staying and the university, okay? So on campus dormitory, $150 to $500 per month. Off campus apartments, that should be around $300 to around $1,000 per month, and it varies depending on your city and depending on the location. Talking about food, we have $150 to $300 per month, cooking at home and occasional dining out. Then transportation, talking about $20 to around $50 per month, looking at public transportation, okay? So $20 to $50 per month. Then utilities, we're looking at $30 to around $100 per month, and it actually varies depending on how you use your utilities, your electricity and everything, and also the location. There are some location that is very cheap. Talking about like Chengdu, I know that when I was researching about Chengdu and their everything about them, it really looked cheap, you know, compared to like Beijing. And then health insurance, typically around $300 to around $500 per year. And also looking at the academic and miscellaneous expenses, you have to be thinking about your program, the program that you're doing, and specific needs that you're going to be needing. There are some people that they really spend a lot of money in their research, so you can also budget for your research, especially if you're going to be doing like a PhD, even master students. There are people who spend a lot of money doing that, okay? So guys, I hope this video was really helpful. This is just basically expense that you can just prepare your mind, prepare yourself for, that you might be spending on. Let me know the kind of video you want me to do next. Leave it in the comment section below, and if you have any question, leave it in the comment section below. You can always message me on Instagram at official_oma. There I actually answer a lot of your questions, okay, and we get to interact. If you want to know my day-to-day activities, you can always check me there, okay, because I post like my day-to-day activities. And I've also written a book about scholarship opportunities, so check the link below to get this book. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.